Okay, yeah, thank you for your introduction. And my name is Gabrielle Lee, and I just want to give you a brief introduction of myself. I graduated in my undergrad. I graduated in Taiwan Normal University, 台湾师范大学, and my major is in education. And after that, I study abroad. The first study I came to Rutgers University to study counseling psychology. And then after I graduated, I did 1 year practical training serving kids with developmental disabilities. So I decided to continue my study in psychology, but switch to a different area that's called behavior analysis. So my PhD was at Columbia University. The major is behavior analysis. And my internship experiences, I work with students from preschool to adults. It's a residential school or institution at the time. Now in the US, they don't have institutions. They have schools. Now it's more of inclusive schools. So you don't see specialized schools anymore. And I worked with kids, students with developmental disabilities, multiple disabilities, learning disabilities at that time. So afterwards, I started my clinical practice. In the clinics, I served as clinical director in several agencies in Houston, Texas, and also in Troy, Michigan, where I live right now. And then 5 years ago, I decided to do things in academia. So I returned to academia. My first appointment at academia was in Michigan State University. And then right now, I am working at in Canada, Western University, Applied Psychology, Faculty of Education. Where I live is in Detroit, Michigan. It's very close to the border of US and Canada. So that's why I live in the Detroit area while going to work in Canada. It's about 2 hours driving there. So about my credential, I hold a psychologist, clinical psychologist registered in Michigan. And I'm also a certified behavior analyst, doctoral level. So this is my background. My background is kind of interdisciplinary, but a major in primary in education or in psychology. Okay. And today, your Professor Lin want me to talk about stress management. And yeah, stress, usually people conceive stress as a negative thing, like you want to get rid of, you don't want that, right? But here we are trying to reappraise what stress is. Can we use it in a positive way, right? Can we use that as a motivation, as a power for your growth? It's possible, even though stress is usually not a good thing. However, if you understand it, you know where it's from, and then you know yourself, you figure out your strengths, your weaknesses, and then the areas that you need to grow. And if you figure that out and try to be kind, be good to yourself, then you feel that your world is changing, because it will be difficult for you to change other people. People used to, a lot of people, they blame others for stress. that other people give them stress, right? It's all other people's fault. It's the fault of the world. But some people, they blame themselves. Well, that's not good either, right? So how do we use this negative thing wisely and use that to be a force, to be a motivation for you, and to improve the areas that you need to grow and to enhance your growth. So today we're gonna share this topic, and I'm hoping this will be a dynamic conversation at some point. I want you to jot down your thoughts, your reflections in the process, anything you think of, just write it down. It can be random thoughts. Don't worry about that. Just write it down, jot it down at some point. If you feel that you want to share, we will have some time for you because today we have more time. So I'm hoping that we will have some interactive conversations. Okay. So here is the overview. Because my background in behavior psychology, I would like to start with some behavior experiments and extending from the laboratory to your real life. And perhaps stress. Everybody has lived experiences, right? Everybody has stress. They have different stressors and in their life. So we're going to talk about stress and perception of control. You know, how is the perception of control related to your stress, right? Why the same things happen to different people, and some people think it's a stress. Some people, you know, they don't feel it at all, right? So why are people's perceptions of stress different? Because a sense of control. We're going to go through that. And then also there's some tips like how you manage stress. And there are some strategies that you can use or you are already using to manage your stress level, to reduce your stress level. The most fundamental thing we're going to talk about today is self-acceptance. Right, you're accepting yourself, your strengths, your weaknesses, and you're okay with this. And that can be a stress reducer. And we're gonna share some experiences if you feel like to. Okay. Okay. The first part I want to go through is learned helplessness. Okay, a lot of you have probably heard this. It's developed from the laboratory of behavior psychology at a time. They're doing experimental psychology using animals. And then right now we are progressing to more human being experiment. There's still some psychology experiment using animal model, but more we are switching to a human model. And then a lot of times we are focusing on the symptoms, right? Right now we're trying to focus on individual and then the diversity of individual traits, personalities. So you see a switch of the current trend or research directions in this way. Okay, but I'm gonna start with the basics.
Sorry to interrupt you. Can we have a full screen?
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Hold on. Full screen, then I have to share. Which screen you are seeing right now? Screen 1 or screen 2? Are you seeing the full screen or are you seeing me and the small screen? I'm not sure which screen you are seeing. Are you seeing the right screen right now?
Yes. The puppy?
Oh, okay. So you are seeing the full screen. Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know which I have multiple screens. So you're seeing the full screen, right? Not the small one.
No, actually, I see the current slide and the next slide.
Oh, then that's not the one. All right, hold on.
Never mind. If you have difficulty.
Let me stop share and then share again because I share the wrong screen. Yeah, share screen one. Then if I use the full screen, you see this, right? Huh?
No, it's actually Zoom and Western.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, this one. Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. I'll share this screen here. Okay, learned helplessness. This is a laboratory studies conducted probably half centuries ago. And here they have 3 groups of puppies. The first group, they call that escapable shock. Okay, what is this? Look at the device here. The device here, there's a barrier in between. And the dog is placed in the first place here, this area, the left side of the box. And there's a minor discomfort shock here because the dog is stepping on the ground, right? And then there's some electricity, going through there. They can feel some minor discomfort shock here in this area. And what they need to do to escape from the shock is just to cross the barrier, go to the other area, the right area. And this area has no shock. So the skill they need to escape from the shock is to jump across the barrier, okay? So that's the only skill they have to learn to avoid to escape from the shock. So group 1, they can escape by passing the bar, right? So they escape the shock by, jump past the barrier, okay? They learned how to do that, and then they could do that. And that's the first group. And then we're going to talk about group 3. Group 3, there's no shock. There's no shock in the box. Either way, they jump around. The box still has the barrier, but there's no shock at all. Okay? So group 1, there's a shock, but they can escape by go across the barrier, and then they go to a no shock area. So it's called escapable group. Group 3, control group, no shock in the box. Okay? And then what's important is group 2. I'm gonna explain group 2. It's called inescapable shock, yoked to group 1. What this means is there are a lot of puppies in group 2, but they are matched to their peers in group 1. So they have the same box here, the same environment, complete the same. The only difference between group 1 and group 2 is that group 1, they can escape, okay? They learn the skill, they cross the barrier. They escape the shock, right? And when they don't learn the skill, they don't know how to do, and then they don't escape, they stay in the shock, right? So group 2, they are matched to group 1. Meaning that when their peer escape, then they escape. If their peer doesn't escape, then they don't escape. Okay, meaning that they don't know what's going on. Sometimes they got shocked. Sometimes they don't get a shock, right? So group 2, they don't know why they are getting shocked, and they don't know why the shock goes away. So this group is the group that they don't know what to do, because sometimes they get it, sometimes they don't get it. It all depends on others, right? They appear, if they appear can escape, then they escape. They don't know why. They don't know it's because of their peer escaped from it, right? They just don't get it and don't know why. And then if they appear haven't figured out, they stay in the shock. And the group 2 puppies, they get shocked too. They don't know why either. So either way, they are getting it or they are not getting it, but they don't know why. It's like, to them, it's like random, right? Random and no reason. Okay, so in group 2, they know why they get shocked, because they didn't escape, right? If they escape, they get out of it. So they know why. Group 1, they know why they get it. They know why they don't get it, right? They can escape from it. They can do something to get rid of something they don't like. They can make it happen, right? They have the power to do that. Escapable, okay? So these 3 groups, I'm gonna go to the next slide here. This is a result of 3 groups. Okay, 3 groups, they went through 2 phases. Phase 1, here, no shock. They're just a control group. They didn't experience anything discomfort. So escapable shock group here, they learn how to escape the shock, right? By crossing the barrier. And then the second group, as I said, was inescapable group. They are matched to their peer in group 1, right? Sometimes they don't get shocked, sometimes they get shocked, but they don't know why. It all depends on their peer in group 1. Okay, so after that, they teach them how to escape explicitly. Before that, they were just experiencing that by themselves, right? And then after that, they're teaching them the skills. So they teach them how to escape is by crossing the barrier, which is really easy to do for the puppies, okay? So they teach them the skill, and then they learn the skills, and then they put them into the shock area, like this one. So after they learn the skill to escape from the barrier, they put all puppies, 3 groups of puppies to the experiment. They put them back to the chamber again, right? To the box. And they all get shock here, but they have learned the skills, right? All they have to do is to cross the barrier, go to the other area, then they are fine. Okay, they learn the skills, and you can take a look at the number here in this part. In this part, escapable group, group 1, after they learn the skills, 74% of them went across the border. I mean the barrier. They escaped from it, okay, after they learn the skill. So the majority of the puppies, after they learn the skills, they were able to do that. Okay, and control group, very similar percentage. The majority of the puppies, once you teach them the skills, they know how to do it. Then they have never had any, shock experiences in the box, right? And you teach them that the skill to escape, the majority of puppies, they escaped. So you can see these three groups, the numbers for group 1 and group 3 really close, right? Whether they had the escape experience or no shock experience, right? Whether they have the experience or not, once they learn the skills, the majority of puppies, they do it, right? However, look at group 2, 28%. It's like less than 1/3 of the puppies. They have the, the experience of not knowing what's going on, right? The yoked experience, the inescapable. They feel that, they couldn't do anything to get rid of that, right? So it's like a sense of frustration or, not knowing what's going on. And then even if you teach them how to escape, even though the skill is so easy, they learned it and they don't use it. Like only 28%, that's 1/3, less than 1/3 of the puppies. They didn't do anything to cross the barrier. When you put them back to the situation, they don't even bother trying. They don't try, So we call this phenomenon learned helplessness effect. Only 28% of the dogs go across the barrier. The majority of them, like 72%, the majority, more than 1/3 of the dogs, after their inescapable experiences, after they know, they learned, there's nothing they can do to help. Even though the opportunities are there, they could just cross the barrier and then they have the skill. They didn't do anything about it. They are still staying, on this side, feel frustrated, they don't do anything because of that experience. All right. So this is just the animal study. And then what we can try to understand is that the escapable group, they feel that they could do something, right? They could jump over. And then once they learn the skill, they do it, right? They have positive experience. They learn from their experience, right? And then the no shock one, we can maybe say these are happy puppies. They didn't have any difficulties. And then they have never experienced any discomfort experiences. And then they are like healthy, right? And they're happy and you teach them skill, they learn how to do it, they do it. So it's the group of puppies where they were in the situations they don't know what's going on. And then that's a bad experience, right? Think about that. When you have the situations, you don't know what's going on, and then people tell you what to do and you do whatever, still, they are not happy about that, right? And you feel that no matter what I do, I cannot change anything. So when there's opportunity there, people teach you the skills, you have the skills, and then you have the opportunities to escape and you can get something better, because of those frustrated experiences, then people, they choose not to do it. We see that all the time, right? We see that all the time. And here, so maybe you have some inspirations from the animal study, and then they actually did a human study. Okay, so this is one of the human studies that they have done, and I think it's relatable to you because you are in the, university or graduate student. They did a study with 3 groups of college students. Okay, same thing. Group 1, controllable group. And then group 2 is the uncontrollable group. And group 3 is the control group. Okay, it's similar to the animal study. And then remember the animal study, the group 1 is the escapable group. And so the group 1 is controllable group. So what's going on is that they have a test, an exam. Okay, so many of you have been in the exam, right? You know what that is. And in the control group, okay, so the environment is really noisy, like really noisy. So when you are in the exam room, you want it to be quiet, right? You don't want it to be noisy, right? Because it bothers you, right? Especially when you don't know like what the test is, like people who have test anxieties, right? They have the bad experience, just like the sharks. You have minor discomfort, just like those animals with the sharks, right? Especially when you have the anxiety, you don't want your test environment to be very noisy because it's going to bother you. So they give them a test, and then the environment is really noisy. And in the group 1 control group, they tell the student, you can push the button to end the noise. So there's a button there. They can push the button and the noise will go away. Will become quiet, okay, if you push the button. Okay, and group 3 is a control group. The environment is quiet. There's no noise. It's just the normal test condition, okay, no noise, okay. And then group 2 is that they were told that, pushing the button will not end the noise. Okay, so the only difference between group 1 and group 2 is that group 1, they can push the button to end the noise. And then group 2, they cannot push the button to end the noise. They were just told, basically you cannot do anything to end the noise, okay? That's it. And otherwise, other test conditions were the same. So what's the result? The result is that group 1, well, basically group 1 and group 3, they do much better than group 2, basically. Group 2, even though the test conditions is the same, but the only thing is that they couldn't do anything to end the noise. They have no control of their environment. Group 1 is that they can control by pushing the button, right? Group 2, they cannot control anything. It just be, the noise will be just there. You cannot do anything about it. And everything else is the same. So the result is group 1, they perform much better than group 2. So the test is the experiment is so significant because even though they have the same condition, right? One group, they can control the noise. They can, push the button to finish, the environment will be changed. So they can control their environment to the way they want. And group 2, no, they don't have the control. They have to, they were told that you just have to do this. It's noisy. You cannot do anything to change that. Well, even if you push the button, it won't change anything anyways. Okay, that's the only difference. And group 1, they did much better, much better. And then very few students, they chose to push the button to end noise. This is even more significant. This means that most of the students, they did not even push the button to end the noise. They didn't do it. They know they could do it, but they chose not to do it. They don't care, right? They just go ahead and finish the test. And even that, they did much better. So the experiment in human has the same result with the animal studies, right? They have the power to control the environment, and they didn't even bother doing it, you know? So in other words, group 1 and 2, they are doing the test in the same condition with a lot of noises, you know? And when you feel, you perceive that you have the control, the noise doesn't bother you at all. When you don't feel the control, you feel that you cannot do anything to change any of the noises. You cannot do anything about it. You know, you just have to bear with it, right? When you are told that you have no control of your environment, your performance is bad, it goes down. So I don't know if you have similar experiences in this, right? Sometimes people tell you, no, you cannot do anything about it. And then you just give up. You don't want to do anything about it. If people, you get frustrated over and over and over and over, right? Think about that. Some parents, they tell their kids, you know, oh, you're useless, right? I heard like some, especially Asian parents or Chinese parents, oh, you don't know what to do, you know, oh, let me do it, you know, because you don't know, just don't do it. You don't know what's best for you, you know, what I'm saying is the best for you. You better listen to me, right? Some parents are like that, or they will tell their kids, you know, don't do anything. You don't know what to do. You cannot change anything. So the kids, they are so frustrated over and over. They were told that they cannot do anything to make their life better. You know, I better listen to my parents. I better listen to my teacher and things like that. So they just don't do anything because they were told they cannot do anything to change their life since they were young. And if you hear this over and over all your life, it's gonna become true, right? And then on the other side, if your parents encourage you, the teachers encourage you, you know, just explore yourself. Don't be afraid. You're gonna fail, that's fine. You just stand up and do it again, right? So you want to be the group 1 student or the group 1 escapable puppies, like which group you want to belong? You want to belong to group 1, right? You have the control over your life. You want to try, even if you fail, you get to try this again, right? You always control your life. You try to make your life different. You do something about it instead of just, you know, feel that you are controlled by other people. So here, it's all your perception of control. It's how you think. You know, your cognition, your cognitive thoughts will affect your behavior this way. So it's really powerful. Really, really powerful. So here is the definition. It says, learned helplessness is a state in which you think that there's no way to escape, even if you get the opportunity to take the charge and control the situation this time, but you don't even try due to exhaustion from past repeated stressful experiences. So yeah, think about this. I hope you don't have that experiences in your life. You don't think this way, but if you do, you know, you do something about it, right? So today is gonna be a start that you can reflect on the way you grew up since your childhood. Have you ever experienced any learned helplessness in your life? Okay, just write down your thoughts, and later if you know, you feel that you want to share with the group, feel free to do that. Like as I said, there are some students, they have test anxiety, right? They always want to be perfect, and then they don't want to lose any point. If they lose any point, they think they are such a loser. They think they failed everything, right? And then next time they go to the test room, they have a test anxiety again because they are so afraid they cannot lose any points, right? And then some students, they get so frustrated, they don't want to study for the exam, you know. So there's some people, they get stressful experiences because maybe some teachers or some parents, they want their kids to be perfect, right? Well, nobody's perfect, but if they wrongly or mistakenly think that you can be perfect, then, you know, you get frustrated. Nobody is perfect. If you think you have to be perfect, then it would be difficult for you, right, to sit in a test room because you cannot make any mistakes. If you make any mistakes, right, you're gonna think, you're gonna be very frustrated, right? But if you don't perceive that way, you think, oh, that's okay, I just do my best, you know, whatever works. If I don't do good, then I learn from my mistakes. Then that's another attitude, right? You feel that you can control because I can study harder, or I can learn from my mistakes. Next time I don't make my mistakes. Next time I improve myself, right? So that different perceptions, right? Same thing happened to different people, but one feel that they cannot do anything about it, right? Because they were told that they have to be perfect every time. They're so frustrated from the past stressful experiences. And then the other one, they think, you know, positively, oh, I did it wrong here, and then, you know, I can improve. I try to do something different. I study more in this area. Next time I do better, right? They learn from it. So they take in charge of their life. Okay, so that's the major difference. Okay, here there are some possible symptoms. You can examine yourself, you know, whether you have these potential symptoms. If you do, then you have to work on it, right? You have to work on it. Or if someone you love, you feel like they have these symptoms, you know, maybe they have some sorts of learned helplessness in their life, and, you know, feel free to share with them your experience. Or if you have students who display these kind of symptoms, then you pay attention, right? They have text anxiety, for example. You know, they may have some kind of learned helplessness symptoms. Here, there's some potential symptoms you will see. They won't tell you, I don't think I have a control of my life. You know, they won't tell you that. But these are the things you can observe from their behavior, right? So like low self-esteem. Oh, I'm not worthy. I'm a terrible person. You know, I'm so bad. I'm so stupid. This kind of things, right? Some kids, they make a mistake. They tell themselves, oh, I'm so stupid, right? They do that. Well, that's possible symptoms of low self-esteem, right? Some other kids, if they feel that they have the control, they are more positive, you know, they won't say that to themselves. They say the other thing, you know, I'm so smart, I can learn, I'll do better next time, right? So if you see a kid or if yourself telling you this, then, you know, you're going to see they always have low self-esteem. They don't think they are worthy of getting good things, right? Even if they get good grades, even if they get some praise, compliment from other people, oh, they will say it's not true. They deny it. You know, they don't think they are good enough. Okay, so low self-esteem, it's a warning sign. Okay, and then frustration. They get frustrated all the time. they were so angry, and then they're so stressed, and they feel everything frustrates them. They are so powerless. So if you see people like that, they have frustration all the time. That's an indication that, potentially they have the learned helplessness symptom. Okay. And this one, passivity is that you don't want to do anything. It's like you don't do things to change actively. So it's the opposite of active or action, right? Meaning you don't do anything. So a lot of times you hear people saying, oh, there's nothing you can do to change that. There's just to choose to do nothing. We just do nothing about, right? So this one is like when you have a chance, you can just ask questions to make the things change, or you can just do something, easy, but they don't do it. They just, choose not to do it. They stay in the frustration, and then they don't think they can change it, so they do nothing. So you see a lot of kids or students, they don't have any motivation because they're so frustrated from their past experiences, right? And then they also perceive this is a stress, so they don't want to do anything to get rid of the stress. They think they better stay in the stress, okay? And then lack of effort, same thing, different symptoms, right? Lack of effort, maybe people will criticize them saying, oh, they're just lazy. No, they're not lazy. They just don't know what to do about it, right? Because their past bad experiences telling them they have no control of their life. So even if they do something, they cannot change anything about it, right? So you will see the symptom is that they just don't want it. They don't even want to try. They don't even want to try. Okay, and then they give up easily, right? They were like, oh, forget about it. I'll just give up. I don't want to try. Let me accept my failure. No. Okay. So if you have this, or if your loved ones or your student have any of the symptoms, it's possible that they have bad, stressful experiences in the past, and then they don't think they have the power to make a change. They don't think they have the control over their life. They just listen to other people. They just take it. They don't want to do anything to change it. Even if it's easy, even if the opportunities are there, they still are not motivated. So motivation sometimes, in this sense, motivation can be extrinsic, right? A lot of people are saying, oh, motivation is intrinsic. You cannot be motivated by external rewards. That's bad for you. But, well, actually, the fact is telling you otherwise, right? Motivation can be extrinsic because of your past bad, stressful experiences, because you were told that you cannot do anything about it. You were told that you cannot change your life. And your perception kind of fixed in that way. So if you have negative thoughts about yourself, you tell yourself you are stupid, you cannot do it, then, you really cannot do it. It's because you learned you cannot help and you cannot do anything to help. Okay, that's your past experiences you have learned. So it's not something intrinsic. It's not something in your nature. It's your experiences that you have learned in a bad way, right? If you never had the experience just like the control group, the third group, or the controllable group in group 1, your experience is different, right? You learn that you can control it. You were told that you can make a difference by taking actions. Then you don't have this kind of symptoms, right? What's the opposite of these symptoms? People who have low self-esteem, they say they are stupid, they make mistakes, but on the opposite is that I deserve the best. You know, they have high self-esteem, right? I deserve the best and I can do it. I want to make a change. So when they face a stressful situation, they are facing challenges or difficulties, they tell themselves they can do it. They are smart. They can do things to make things change. If they fail, they stand up. They try again, right? That's the opposite. Okay, so the opposite is they don't get frustrated all the time, right? They get encouraged. When they faced a bad situation, you know, this gives them motivation to do it, right? They don't stay in a situation passively. They take actions actively, right? They do something about it, right? They try very hard to do things and then see if they can improve the situation, right? And they don't give up. You know, they keep trying. So that's the opposite. You want to be the opposite one. You don't want to have this kind of symptoms to yourself. So today we're gonna go through this. So it's all about your perception of control, right? Like, what do you think? It's your cognitive thoughts that can possibly change your behavior, right? What to do next when you have the same situation, right? Why, like in the same situations, some people, they have we call this resilience, right? They have the resilience. They want to change things. And some people, they just, stay in this category. They're frustrated. They don't do anything about it. They give up. And then they don't think they deserve the best things. Why some people, they can go the opposite, even though they are in the same situation, same bad situation, right? You want to grow yourself, right? To be high self-esteem, and then you are not afraid of difficult situations, and you are brave enough to change things, right? And you never give up. Okay. Here, the next section, we're gonna go through who is in control, and then what's your perception of control. Okay, it's 9 o'clock. I think we need to have a break, right? So I'll stop recording, and then you can, we'll take a break. Hold on. Yeah, I'll stop recording right now. Okay, here we talk about where stress may come from. It's like you feel that you don't have control of your environment and you cannot do anything about it, right? That becomes a source of stress. And then what's the perception of control, right? Meaning that you feel that you can control your life. It's your perception. It's not, well, can be the fact, but it's more in your thought, right? So we know that stress will have some health issues, psychological issues, and here are some problems, there's a long list of it. I'm just giving you some examples. These are like sometimes people, they experience stress, they feel they cannot do anything about it. They cannot change the way they live. And, they feel a sense of powerlessness. Then, they can have a lot of health issues, right? Heart disease, obesity, diabetes, headaches, and stomach ache, or like digestive problems, high blood pressure, muscle tension. You probably all experience this, but sometimes these are some symptoms that tells you better be careful, right? But if you experience this all the time, that's not good for your body, right? It's gonna have some problems. And the mental issues like anxiety, depression, substance and drug abuse, and sleep problems. So when you experience stressful situations, you're gonna have this kind of symptoms. But if you have this all the time, you just have this for a short period of time, I don't think it's gonna cause you any problems if it's only short period of time, right? But if you have this all the time, over a period of time, you're gonna observe some body issues here. Okay, so that's why a lot of doctors, they tell you, you need to relax. There's nothing wrong with you, right? They did a check and there's nothing wrong with you. Just have to relax more. But how do we do that? If you have repeatedly experienced stressful experiences, frustrated experiences, we have been told repeatedly we cannot do anything to make any change in our life, right? So we got to do something to overcome the difficulties that we may have. Okay, so the perception of control from the Hiroto experiment is the human experiment with the college students, right? So the students who perceive that they have the control, they perform better, even though they didn't do anything to change the environment. They don't even bother pressing the button, right? They still do this in a noisy environment. Even that, they did much better because they have a sense of control. They think they can do things to change their life, right? So people who perceive that they have control, they tend to have a lower level of stress. So people who have lower level of stress, they are more motivated and then they perform much better, right? Even though they are facing the same difficulties. Okay, so you want to be in this group. You want to, believe in yourself that you can control your life, right? And then these are some common stress relief strategies, but these are short-term. These are not long-term strategies. But here you can use when you experience stressful situation, or when you think that you have an emotional outburst, that you feel that you need to just get a vent, right? Then you can do this to get rid of your stress, to get rid of your...
Hello, Xinhui.
Yeah?
Bother you again?
Yeah.
I don't see the slide. The big
Oh,
and small screen
sharing
are all your beautiful figures.
But here, well, I'm showing that I'm sharing.
Maybe you can try to stop and reshare again.
Redo it. Okay, let me share screen again. Share screen. Is it sharing?
Again, I can see next slide and the current slide.
Okay. The better?
Yeah, this
Okay.
one is good. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for letting me know. I wasn't aware of this. Okay, there's some common stress relief strategies, and these are short-term, right? Not a long-term. And when you feel that your negative emotions come back again, you can do this repeatedly, right? There's no limit. There's no side effect, right? You do this, you can do this over and over again, kind of to train yourself to escape from the negative situation that you may be facing, right? So muscle relaxation, mindfulness practice, right? Or some people like to do religious meditation or exercise, right? You can engage in physical exercise that will get rid of your stress, and also leisure activities, engage in something that you like. And also positive thinking is, for example, like some people, they may say, oh, I'm stupid, right? The other way to overcome this is to say, no, I'm smart, I can do it, right? And also social support. You can tell your friends who can support you. And just be careful, stay away from those so-called friends who are negative about you, right? If you have people who always, speak negatively about you, stay away from them. You don't want to have bad influence like that, right? You rather have no friend than bad friend, okay? And then reduce workload. When you examine the possible stressors, and if it's from like too much work that you are doing, then you better reduce your workload, okay? Because you're only one person. You are not everything. You are not God, right? You cannot do everything. So just choose the ones that you can better focus on. Reduce your workload. Don't think you are Superman. You can do everything, okay? We are not. And it's okay with that. Okay, so these are short-term strategies that you can do this over and over to overcome any kind of stress situation. And there's no side effect. You can do this repeatedly, no problem. But today we're going to talk about something is long-term. You can continue to work on yourself. And then this is like more of a long-term fundamental solution. Okay, so what is this? Here is that you have to know yourself really well. So you have to examine what stress, are you experiencing right now? Do you think, what's your perception of control? Do you think you're in control, or you believe that you cannot do anything about it, right? Do you know yourself very well in this way? All right, so what are my strengths? To get rid of your stress is that we talk about get rid of your negative thoughts about yourself, right? So you have to know what's your strengths. Everybody has strengths. Okay, if you hear someone says, oh, I don't have any strengths. No, well, that's negative thoughts, right? You have to find your positive strengths. What are your talents, right? So how do you know you are talented in some way? You like it, right? You like doing things, and you like doing this. Anything related to this, I like it, right? So you like this thing, and you do it well. You spend like a little bit effort, and then you do much better than other people, right? That means you're talented in this way. Doesn't have to be musical or athletics, right? You can be doing well in, for example, like your subject matters. You like social studies, you like management, you like to talk to people, like what kind of environment, what kind of people that make you feel that you want to be there. You like doing the things, right? Like, for example, like business, like what kind of business you like, right? Clothing, designing, or, you know, selling things. You like to talk to people. You like to persuade people in some way. You are good at listening to people. So these are all sorts of things that you enjoy doing, and you do it well, right? So you know you're potentially talented in this way. And then you also want to do it. You want to make effort, right? You have the motivation that you want to do it. And even if people tell you, you know, you to give up, then you don't feel like you don't feel like giving it up, right? So, and also people also tell you, oh, I think you are really good at math, right? You are really good at, you know, selling things, for example. You really know how to convince people, right? And you don't want to give it up. Doesn't matter what people tell you, you just want to do it anyways, you know, or you feel so bad if you do give up, right? You're going to regret the rest of your life if you give up. So these are the things that tell you that you are good at this kind of things. That's your talents. So discover your talents, right? Your strengths. Okay, and here, there's one thing that, you know, when you calm down yourself, such as right now, it's so quiet, and you know, think about what's your significant experience, right? What is your significant experience? It's something, the most important thing that happened to you, that give you some positive thoughts about yourself, something that leads you to discover your talent, your strengths. That's your significant experience, right? For example, I feel like at some point, I want to do my, like, for example, a student who likes math really very much, right? Who is good at that. And then he did, like one time his math teacher tells him that you are good at this. And then he did so well in his exam, and then give him some confidence that, you know, he is good at math related skills, right? He may want to focus on this. So that experience, say he did well on the exam, and then what his math teacher, the influence of his math teacher, that would be the significant experience, right? So just recall that, what kind of significant experience you have. And then the significant experience will give you the quality to respond effectively in a challenging situation. So think about one thing that's powerful that you have done in your life, that you are so proud of yourself doing it. Okay, and this will give you power, will install you your power when you face the difficult situation. So I encourage you to write down your thoughts. What's the first thing that comes into your mind? That would be the significant experience you have. Well, that would be, you know, really helpful for you. So write it down. And if you want to share, I think we have some time that we can share. Okay. So just when you have the situation, you know, some experience that just came to your mind, the first thing, you don't need to filter your thoughts, you know, just the first thing that came into your mind, that would be the most important thing that your brain, you know, is telling you, you know, you have to look at that right now, because that's important for you at this point. Okay. So what is the most the most significant or important experience that you feel that comes into your mind right now, and that thing you feel so good about yourself, and then you feel that you are so proud of yourself, and you feel that you are so confident in this area. Okay, recall when this quality was felt. Okay, you feel that you can deal with things. You feel that you have control of your life, right? What's the experience that came into your mind? And what did you see? What did you hear and feel in this experience, right? Do you feel any emotion or body sensations, right? Like, for example, some people say they are good at swimming, and then they feel that, when they are swimming in the water, they feel the sense of control. They do the swimming actions, and then they feel the water, and they feel their speed, and then they swim like a fish, right? So they feel good about that, right? So what did you see? What did you hear? And what do you feel? Any sensations, right? And okay, and then you can run a movie using this experience when facing the difficult or challenging situation. Okay, so do you have anything that comes to your mind? And anybody want to share their significant experience of their life? If you do, please just unmute yourself and just share. If you, I believe, here, Professor Lin said it's the you use English in this class, but if you feel like you want to share in your native language, I encourage you to do that as well. So here we have a safe environment, and you don't have to worry about what you share will be told outside of the class, okay? So, and also I encourage you to share something that's minorly, like you have minor stress or minor anxiety, okay? Avoid sharing something that's really major or really private or confidential. Yeah, don't do that at this point. Yeah, you can share something that has minor stress on you, like, for example, test anxieties or some kind of family situations, that kind of things. And what's your significant experience? Like, what are those moments that you have experienced these things, and then you had the power to change things, right? And for some people, maybe that's the first time they get a award for their work, right? Their work get recognized. Or some people, they solve a difficult problem using their skills, right? Or in some situations, as I said, you did very well on your math test, right? And then you had a good math teacher that changed the course of your life. Those are good examples. Yeah, somebody want to share? Just unmute yourself.
Hi.
Yeah, please.
I want to share when I was a child. I have participated a piano contest, and I was nervous, but it's still interesting after the contest. Yes, even I didn't get a good grade, but I still think it's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
And what do you see and hear and feel in this experience?
I feel nervous because I'm afraid I may fail on the concert.
Mm-hmm. And how about
Yes.
after the concert? How did you feel?
Well,
Were you proud of yourself after the concert that, oh, I did it, you know, it was difficult piece that I played and then I did it well? Like, did you
yes,
feel it?
I think I'm proud because
Okay.
I finished the song.
Okay. Yeah, you're proud of yourself. And what did you
Yes.
see or hear and feel from this experience? Like, did you see like the reactions of the audience? Yeah, try to go back to that situation again. And then did you see anything? Did you hear anything? Like people giving you compliment? They give you praise? Or what did they tell you?
I think my friend, they gave me compliment and that made me much braver.
Mm.
And this is my experience.
Yeah, good. Thank you. Yeah, you feel that and then also you hear that your friend giving you compliment, right? You're really good at this, and then you're proud of yourself being able to do that, because before that you were like nervous about it, and then afterwards you feel great because you overcame the difficulties or like minor stress situations there. Yeah, good. So that's one way this experience will help you when you face similar challenging situations, right? So when you have something similar right now, you can really use the experience. For example, you are taking an important test next week, for example, and then you get some anxiety or you are nervous about it, right? Try to take your past experience, the experience that you played a piano piece and then you went through the same situation, but you practiced and then you played well, you know, go back and revisit the experience. And then here, the last step is that you run a movie using this experience again, because you are taking a test next week. You know, you go back to revisit your past experience, your significant experience, and you re-experience this, you know, what you see, what you hear, and how you feel, right? And that's a good example. You feel good about yourself because you play the difficult piece so well, and your practices like that make it so good, right? So run the movie again. You hear people's praise. You hear people giving you compliment. You feel that you're proud of yourself. You are confident that you can overcome the difficulty, right? So you feel the same way. Again, these are the qualities that you need when you are facing a frustrating or potentially difficult situation. Then you can use that experience to help you to go through this experience again. It will take your stress away because you are in control, right? So, yeah, that's a really good experience that you are sharing with us. And do we have anybody who want to share their past significant experience?
I can share my experience.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a time when I was getting my university. Like before, we are all Taiwan students, and before we go into the university, we'll have the big test we call 学测, right? And in that time, I'm good at like English, Mandarin, but not at like math. But if you want to go like a well college, you have to good at this math, Chinese, and English. But for me, the math is like a big problem in my life. So in that time, I feel very like having a task anxiety. And that is the worst thing is I need to see a doctor to release my anxiety. Because like every teacher taught me that you're good, but you have to, your other subject is good, but you have to improve your math to get like a better college or something. So that made me feel very anxiety, because like math for me is like the hard problem I have in my life. So in that time, I even have to see a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
But that thing is like, I quit because my doctor said if you try hard and you have nothing to change, there's only two problems in the world. One is the problem you can solve, and another is the problem you cannot solve. And if the problem can be solved, you don't have to worry about it. And if the problem cannot be solved, you don't have to worry about it because you cannot do anything for it. So don't have to worry. It's like the only thing you can do. So for me, at that, I quit the math test in my 学测, and I find another way to get the offer to the university, which we call 特殊选才. And so for me, to solve the problem, I choose to quit the test and find another way to discover my problem.
Okay, yeah, thank you for your experience. Yep, that was a difficult situation that you faced at that time. And then a significant experience you had was that you kind
Task
of
anxiety.
right, you know your strengths, right?
Yeah.
And you know your weakness, right? Like, and you know yourself very well. And once you know yourself very well, you make a decision that I want to focus on this, and I'm okay, I'm not good at this, I'm okay with that. That's fine, So once you made a decision, the stress or the anxiety just like goes away, right? You are accepting yourself, right? You don't feel bad about, oh, I'm not a math person, I better focus on this.
I just feel relaxed when I quit the task of math. I just feel that is my life.
Exactly. So that's the good point. That leads me to the next one is that, in this experience, you are accepting yourself. We call this reconciliation with yourself. You don't blame yourself for not good at math, right? Well, it's not your sense, and you are accepting it. You love yourself, right? I'm lovable, even though my math is bad, but I'm still a lovable person. And then I'm good at, language art, right? English or Chinese or whatever language, you are good at language. So you want to focus on this, and you're accepting the fact that, everybody has strengths and weakness. You don't have to good at everything. You don't have to be perfect, right? So good. Yep. And so that's like accepting yourself. That's the critical step. Jingyi is just sharing with us, and I think that's really good. Everybody think about that, right? How you loved, you have the experience being loved, and then including loving yourself, right? It can be other people's love for you that can change your life. For example, you have a teacher or your parents who love you without any conditions, right? Meaning that they love you no matter what. You know, even your math is bad, right? Your parents still love you, right? So this kind of things, or your parents only love you when you are good at math, right? That's conditional love, right? That's kind of hurting, because some kids, they want their parents' approval. They never get it because their parents always negative about them. Their parents want them to be perfect, and then their parents want them to go the parents' way. Their parents never listen to their kids. Then, you know, we call this conditional love, because they only give their love to you if you listen to them, if you are good in their way, if you listen to their decision, instead of trying to make your own decision, instead of trying to do something that you like, you do something they like. You don't have yourself. How you feel is not important. Okay, so that's called conditional love. So if you're a parent or any teacher who give you unconditional love, like you make your decision, even if you do the bad choice, you know, we still love you. You come home anytime, right? Doesn't matter you are a good kid or a bad kid, you know, I still love you because I'm your parent, I'm your mother. I still love you. That's called unconditional love. So if you are loved unconditionally, then you feel like you feel more power into yourself. You believe in yourself more because at your core belief that you don't have to be good in order to be loved by someone, right? You are lovable yourself because you are you. That's the way you are. So you have to reconcile with yourself, okay? And then you have to accept your, not just your strengths, but your weaknesses. You know, can be weakness in the subject area, can be a weakness in your, you know, maybe personality or something, you know, you are born with, right? I don't have this, you know, then I'm okay with that, right? And so it has to do with your experiences of experiencing being loved from your family, from your school, right? Your friends, right? So these are your experiences. You reconcile with yourself, you accept yourself, you believe you are a lovable person, you deserve the best, and then you can do things to overcome the difficulties. Once you have the belief, you have the perception, you know, you will do better, right? You will do better. Okay, so the significant experience you have, remember that. And we have two good examples today. You know, one is that you overcame a situation like the test situation or the performance situation. You were nervous about it, but you practice more, you get more motivated to practice, right? And afterwards, feel that people's compliment again. Feel that you feel confident about yourself, right? You can do good. You're smart, and you know, and you are smart in some ways, you know, but not other ways. People think I should be smart at. That's fine. Am I good at what I'm doing? You know, I want to focus on what I'm good at. I know myself very well. You know, I don't struggle with something that I don't want to waste my time, right? So in this sense, you know, you don't have to be perfect, and then you know yourself well, and then you love yourself, you deserve the best. And what happens at the end? You did get into the college without being good at math, right? You don't have to do that, you know, because you don't want to focus on, you don't want to waste the time on something that, you know, you don't want to focus on, right? When you accept yourself, you kind of make this kind of decision to go a different route and still give you the result that you desire. So that's really important. You accept yourself, and then you deserve the best, okay? Okay, so when you have the stress, again, here is what we were talking about. You know the stress, you know yourself, you accept and love yourself, you take control of the situation, right? In this case, you are transforming your stress into motivation that will push you up in your life and in difficult situations. You're motivated. You don't get frustrated, right? You're motivated. You are ready to stand up and fight again, right? When you fail, you stand up and fight again. You don't give up, right? In some way, even though Jingyi said she gave up math, but because that's something, that doesn't deserve your attention at all. So you just try to get rid of the barrier in your life. In some way, you are taking control of your life. So that's a positive way. You want to focus more time on something that you really like, right? So in some way, I think that's really a positive way of taking some actions to get rid of barriers in your life. You know you can do it and you can control the situation, right? You are not afraid, what people tell you. They tell you, oh, your math is not good. You fail. You cannot go to college, that kind of things, right? You get rid of that kind of thoughts that give you anxiety, right? Because you're taking actions to focus on something you are good at. In this way, you are transforming the stress into a motivation. I'm going to focus on this. And there are other routes that I can be successful, right? And I deserve the best. I don't want to waste my time on something that I don't want to waste on, right? I don't want to spend any more time on math, for example. So you transforming your stress into motivation. And in this way, you discover your potential more fully, right? When you get rid of the barriers and when you focus on something, you're accepting yourself, you love yourself, you're taking control over your life. You really discover your full potential. You can reach that and you can become who you really are. Okay, so that's kind of a fundamental and long-term solution to all kind of stress. If you don't think you deserve it, if you don't think you can do it, if you give yourself negative, you stay in a negative experience, then you can never change anything. But if you focus on your significant positive experiences, those moments that you are good at things and you know how to manage the situation, and then the love of yourself, and then the love from other people unconditionally. I'm talking about unconditional love, right? This kind of love will help you overcome any kind of stressful or difficult situations because you know yourself, you discover the new way, the new path to becoming who you really are, okay? And okay, so that's, you have any questions where you want to share any more experiences? So today, I think the most important task for you is to think of any kind of significant experiences that you have had in the past, because this is the cornerstone. This is the power that can anchor your life. And this can really help you to when you face any difficult situations, right? We have two excellent examples. When you have anything that makes you anxious, makes you, not sure, right? So many uncertainties, you are stressed about it, and you acknowledge that, and you think about your significant experience. What's the best experience that you have done to overcome a difficult situation, right? Can be some like the examples, and then someone told you something offer you that kind of unconditional love that help you overcome the situation, and then try to feel the experience again. Run the movie again. It's like your personal movie in the past. Run that again to install yourself with that powerful experience. This will help you to overcome any stressful situations, will permanently or not, or like fundamentally remove that kind of stress away, right? Because you believe you are a lovable person, you love yourself, you are accepting your strengths and weakness, and then you are loved by someone, including yourself, right? That's going to be very, very powerful. And you can transform the stress into strengths or into motivation that keep you going and keep you overcome any significant moment, right? A difficult situation. And believe or not, after you overcome a difficult situation, this becomes another significant experience for you, right? You can nourish yourself with these positive experiences to overcome those bad experiences, right? We're talking about learned helplessness, right? Those are negative experiences. Those are frustrating experiences. And those are the situations you feel that you had no control. But to get rid of that, go back to your significant experience, because you can do it. You are loved, not just only by others, but also by yourself. You're accepting yourself, and you believe you can do it. Okay? And yeah, anybody want to share your experience more, or you have any questions?
If no one wants to share, I would like to share. May I?
Oh, yeah, please. Sorry.
Thank you for give me the opportunity. Last year, I invited Professor Lee to do this lecture. And at that time, my husband, David, was also participate online as a free rider. And after the lecture, he told me that he cried when he heard about the slide talking about unconditional love, knowing yourself, being that everything to be acceptable to yourself. And after the lecture, he told me that he was actually unconditionally loved by his mom, his two aunts. No matter what he did in his childhood, the three great women always provide him unconditional love. Not only he got poor math, actually he failed every subject in her elementary school, high school. So he actually went to the Wuzhuan, that would be like the technology university in the old time. So besides these great women, some other family members, including his own father and some other relatives, they sometimes say to him on face that you are a total 100% loser. You got no future. You fail everything. You are the loser, no doubt. So actually, he has those very difficult situations. But however, with Lisa provided unconditional love from the mother and the two aunts, so he knows that there was something that he can be good at. So after he go to work, he realized that he's quite actually good about negotiation. He's quite good about making contract. So he has a chance to working in a foreign companies in Taiwan. And when he working with the foreigners, like the people from Germany, people from USA, he realized that, oh, actually I am good about something. I can get a loan, and I'm so convincing when do the co-work with the foreigners. And some other people, they are maybe too shy, maybe have the strong position to do the negotiate, but he find he's quite good about these things. So after listening to your lecture, he said that he cried and he was so touched, and he missed about his aunt, and he thank you for his mom. So Jingyi, not only math, actually people who are worthy get a worthy situation than you, but he still have a bright light future in his later life. So this is the accolade I would like to share with everyone. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And then if you look at the chat, I'm reading the chat right now. Yeah, people are sharing their experiences. And yeah, thank you for Professor Lin to share this experience of your husband. I think that's really encouraging when you see your loved ones. They believe in yourself. You know, you see their face are glowing when they feel that they can do something about it, when they feel that they are good at something. You know, that's very different when you observe people who have learned helplessness, right? That's the opposite way. So yeah, thank you, Professor, for sharing your own experience. I mean, your husband's experience here. And then, yeah, I'm reading like students are having their experiences there. And then if you like, you can read the chat. Yeah, I really enjoy reading this. Yeah, if you want to speak, but you know, if you want to write them here, it's good too. You know. Yeah, the significant experience, we talk about positive ones. You want to recall your positive ones, right? If you keep recalling the negative ones, you will have learned helplessness, right? So that's why it's so important that we recall positive, significant experience. We call this significant experience, that we only referring to the positive ones. Yeah, you do have bad ones, but you have to install yourself the belief, the positive ones. So try to recall the positive ones, and then this will give you power when you have difficult ones, right? So don't get the difficult ones right now. Get the positive ones and feel that. You know, just revisit the experience and then bring yourself back to the significant experience. You really need to go back and really feel it. And this will give you power to overcome the negative ones you may have had, right? Yeah, and then some students were saying, you know, they have bad teachers, you know, criticize them, and then in public, right? That's a humiliation. And well, at that time you were a kid, you were so powerless, you didn't know, right? You thought, you know, oh, the teacher said must be the truth, right? I'm so bad. But when you know, right now you are an adult, right? You tell yourself that's not true, right? And I saw like someone in the chat saying the teacher's not good enough. You know, it's the teacher's fault. You know, the teacher should say it in a positive way instead of, you know, discouraging or frustrate a student in a bad way, right? So in this case, we have learned that, it's really important for teachers, educators, or parents to look at things in a positive way, right? They don't insist their way, but they have to listen to what their children are thinking, and then listen to their students, right? What do you think? How do you feel in this kind of situation? Can you do anything about it? Do you want to do anything about it? Having a conversation, listening instead of telling them what to do, that means that, they have to listen to you no matter what. No, that's not true, right? Well, positive significant experience is like if you feel that you are not good at something, that's not a significant experience. That's a negative one, right? So you have to think about something that is positive before you can, deal with the negative experience, right? So think of something that's positive. Don't immerse yourself in those negative experiences. You must have something that's positive. Either you went through a difficult situation, or you are loved by someone without any condition. That will give you some power. Focus on that for now before you can deal with the negative ones. Yeah, don't jump into the negative experience right now. Yep. So do you have anything you want to share, or do we have time now? We have time until 10 o'clock or 10:30.
It depends
we'll
on
have
you.
time.
Oh, sorry, Michael, continue.
We'll have time till 10:30.
Oh, 10:30. Okay. Yep. So I encourage you to share and let me, because I was reading here. Feel free to read the chat, because I think there's some discussions here, and someone sent this to everyone. Then you can really engage in a dynamic conversation, right? Like people, they used to feel stressed when they need to talk in public. Oh, that's really a challenge for a lot of people, right? At the time, you try to relax, but didn't help. Okay, sometimes you try to relax, that makes you even more stressful, right? And then you tell yourself you can do a good job. You believe in yourself, and you believe that you deserve the best, right? You decided to trust yourself, and you realize that you don't get anxiety anymore. It's like going away, because this kind of negative thoughts about yourself is not coming to you anymore, right? So that's one way to combat when you have stress. In this example, like stand in front of people and talk in public. And once you have the good experience, right, that we call the significant experience, then remember that experience again. And next time when you do this, you tell yourself you can do it, right? Just don't remember those times that you did a bad job, or like some people, they are afraid of to talk in public because they get criticized in the past. right? They didn't want to say anything because they get criticized, or they believe themselves that, oh, if I say anything, it's going to be ridiculous. I'm so stupid. And then people they're going to laugh at me. This kind of negative thoughts, will give you more stress, right? So don't focus on that. Focus on good ones. So that's good. And then sometimes parents, if your parents, they don't have a stable relations, and then they fight, or even if they stonewalling, even if they don't have fight, they don't talk at all, right? And this can be very stressful for kids. Why? I'm telling you why. Because you are in a group too. You don't know how to handle your situation. You feel that because you're a child, right? Your skills are limited, and you feel that sometimes, oh, my parents, they smile, and then sometimes they're angry at each other. You don't have control. You don't feel that you have control over your life. And that's why it gives you stress when your parents, they don't have stable relationship. They don't have a pleasant, positive, good interactions. Some couples, they have fight, but they are communicating with each other in a positive way, right? That's fine. But some people, they just throw away their emotions when they have fight. They criticize each other. They don't talk about their emotions. They just criticize them. Then that's bad, right? And as a kid, I know how that feels, right? Your parents, even if they don't talk, you feel that. You observe them every day, even though they're putting a show for other people thinking they are good couples, but they are not, which happens a lot in our family, in our, Asian families. Some people, some couples, they are good couples in front of other people, but not at home, right? And kids can be so stressful that way because they are the group two. They are in group two. They are in a inescapable situation. How they feel is all depends on how their parents behave, right? So if you or if you have that kind of experience that's like beyond your control when you were a kid, right now you really need to go back and recall any significant experience in your life, the positive ones, okay? Before you can handle those frustrated or frustrating experience in the past from the family. Unfortunately, a lot of people, their parents, they don't have stable relationship, and then their kids, don't have good experience when they grow up. They tend to become more negative in terms of themselves. They blame themselves and these kind of things. But you know what? You can overcome that. But first of all, think about some positive, significant experiences you have, okay? And you can, after that, if next time we have more time, we can talk about like once you install your positive, significant experiences, how can you use this to overcome your negative experiences, those frustrating ones. Those the one when you were kids you have no control over, but now you are grown up, you are an adult, right? You can you have the power once you install yourself with significant experiences. Once you accept yourself, know your strengths and your weaknesses, then you believe in yourself, then you have the power to go back and tell when you were a little child, right? You go back to your childhood and you tell your little one that, it's not all your fault, right? It's a parent. My parents were not mature at the time, so you knew what's going on. Okay, so if we have a time next time, we probably can do that. Yep, and different culture and Yep, and some people are sharing that they have friends, social support, right? It's really important you spend time with the right kind of friends who can support you positively, right? And they help and they listen. Listening itself can be therapeutic. They don't have to do anything, but they just listen to you. They don't preach. They don't preach to you, right? Like a lot of times our parents or teachers, they say, oh, I'm listening to you. But no, they are preaching. Basically, they don't listen. They're just repeating themselves, right? So it's important that you have people, friends or, authorities who are willing to listen to you, to accept the way you are. And this way you can, have the power to change, right? Okay. Yep. And then some people saying that they feel very or not motivated to do anything. They may feel depressed. And then, these are the ways you can start just right now. If you feel that you don't have motivation to do anything, then you think of your positive experience, your significant experience. This will give you motivation. Okay. So someone in the chat saying, I feel not motivated to do anything. Okay. Think about something happened in your past, and that's a really good experience. The significant experience. At least one thing. You can probably think about many things, but the first thing that surge into the surface will be the most important experience your thoughts, yourself want to tell you. That's the most important, and focus on that. What your body tells you, what your thoughts tell you, is the most important thing. Okay? Focus on the significant experience, and you will discover some powerful tools to get yourself motivated. Invisible stress. Again, go back to your significant experience. And then your stress, you say is invisible. That must be something in the past that has happened. They can bother you. And if you have some physiological symptoms, well, that's another area that we are not even touched, right? It can be some symptoms. Well, the only thing we can do about it is probably, change our diet. If you are eating junk food all the time, right? Then you feel like, a lot of people, sugar can be a thing, right? You eat a lot of sugar, you eat a lot of carbohydrate, you feel like really high, but you feel really low, really quickly. So if your diet is like all junk food, you drink Coke, right? You go to McDonald's. If you do that, then, it's going to give you some difficulties in terms of your physical health. If that's the case, then try to see if that's the case. If that's the case, try to change the diet, eat healthy food, and see if you can make that go away, if you feel better that way. That's another thing. And this can be your significant experience too. If things change, that become a significant experience, that you notice that your body has some reactions to certain things, right? That could be the thing. I don't know. I'm just making it up, because there's some clinical cases. Their mood, their emotions are really affected by what they eat. So that's another thing you may want to take a look at, when you feel you have no idea where your stress can come from and why you behave in certain ways, why you feel depressed on certain days but not the other days, right? See if that's something like food, your intake of food, or some kind of medication you're taking may affect you that way. Okay. Yeah, and then yeah, people are saying, yeah, when you were young, you did something in secret and your parents discover that, they criticize you, and then they make you feel that you are a bad kid or something. Well, think about that. You just did something out of behind them, right? And why you want to do that? Because you knew that they won't be happy if they say that, and then if they see that, right? So in this case, I think effective communication would be, the parents would be like, try to listen, what are you doing right now? Why are you doing this behind me? You try to hide this from me, and the kids may say that, I know you're not happy when you see I do this, right? That's a communication. And effective communication, or next time if we have time, we can focus on effective communication, is that you tell people how you feel. You don't blame them, right? The parents, they may say, if you don't go to bed at night, instead of watching TV, I'm so worried that, your eyes will be bad, and then you don't have enough sleep, and then I'm so worried about your health. You are my child. I care about you, right? If your parents say that instead of blaming you for not listening to them, I don't think you will feel bad that way, right? Yeah, because we're talking about how we feel, right? And you don't blame your parents. You don't say, oh, you just don't know what I want to do. You just want to talk about yourself, right? Instead, you can tell them, every time you say I cannot do it, you're really hurting me. You hurt my feelings, right? When I say this to my kid, they won't get angry at me. Why are you doing this? You're doing this, you're hurting my feelings, right? That means you don't respect me, and I don't feel I'm respect when you are doing this, okay? So when you engage in communication, you just tell them how you feel. If you do this, I feel so hurt. I'm so frustrated when you do this, right? So if you say this, people won't get angry at you, right? Instead, you will invite more engaging conversations, okay? So that's something like when you try to communicate with other people, you can do that. Okay, and then a lot of people, and then someone saying they from, oh yeah, the traumas they experience. Yeah, trauma, those are bad experience that you've had. So to overcome those experiences, you really need to think of some positive, significant experiences in your life so you can take control over it. Yep, again, this is the most important thing for today's talk, right? Go back and to your significant experience. Yeah, thank you. I enjoy reading your chat, and then I think it's so inspiring that you all have that kind of experiences. And thank you for sharing, whether you're sharing in your talk or in your chat. I really enjoy that. Okay, anyone want to share, want to talk? Because I see a lot of chat. That's good too. Yep. Yep, so today's task is to, think of significant experience. Before you go to bed, you think of one significant experience and you tell yourself you are good and you are good at something and you are okay with something that you are not good at, right? And you want to feel confident about yourself because you have had these significant experiences, okay? And re-experience that. Try to see things, revisit the experience, try to see things and hear things and notice your body. You know, your body can tell you a lot of things. Sometimes when you go back to that experience, you feel you are loved. That's powerful. And you feel that you can do it. That's powerful, right? And if you feel that, I can change things, you know, I can make my choice, right? So from that experience will draw you a lot of positive thoughts and feelings of yourself, and then you are accepting yourself more positively. Like do this again and again, you know, I bet you will see the difference. If you do this, I'll say maybe 3 days, and you notice a difference in terms of like you waking up more like happily, you know, more positively, and more ready to begin today's work or today's school, right? If you do this 3 days, you notice the difference. So before you go to bed, think about a significant experience and tell yourself, you know, revisit that. Go through this slide. Can you see the slide? And am I still sharing? Okay, go back this slide. I want to make sure you can see this here again. Here, this is the most important slide. Okay. Yep, here, I think I'm sharing this screen. Yeah. All right, so yeah, go through this again and do this before you go to bed. Install yourself with positive thoughts. Do this 3 days. You notice the difference. If you notice the difference, yeah, make sure you share with your professors, your friends, and your classmates, right? Showing your positive self. When you feel you are motivated in the morning, you are ready to get out of bed and to school, to work, then your stress level is reduced. All right, yep. This one is the most important one. And then run a movie before you go to bed tonight, okay? Yep, I think that's it. And anybody want to share, or we can call it a night?
Before you leave, could you please open your camera and I'll take a screenshot of it.
Oh, the camera. Everybody has to open the camera. Let me show everybody. Oh, let me stop sharing so we can see everybody's face. And yeah, you want to take a, hold on. All right, yeah. So can you see everybody now? Yeah, it's good to see
Yes.
everybody's face. I think we have more people than the screen can fit. Is it okay? Or because
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, there's a second page.
So I'm gonna take a screenshot. 3, 2, 1. Okay.
All right, there's a second
Thank
page.
you all.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. Good night. Remember to do it before you go to bed, okay? Positive experience. Tell yourself you are good. All right.
So could we have the host to thank you, the Professor Gabrielle Lee?
Okay, let us thank Professor Lee for his speech today. And thank you all for your participation today. We have a feedback from Moodle. Please remember to fill it up. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Bye.